Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and today's video is going to be a fun one. In today's video, we're going to the Great League, and I'm going to be showcasing one of the deadliest sweepers in the entirety of the Open Great League, Shadow Toucannon. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, MakiDK, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now, Shadow Toucannon has a monster attack stat, and it's rocking the newly buffed Peck and Drill Peck to output some truly devastating damage. Now, Shadow Toucannon, definitely more of a Pokemon for fun than for climbing, but my goodness, this thing's damage output makes it a terrifying sweeper. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches. And in game number 1, Stunfisk is going to lead into Shadow Sableye. Immediate safe switch into Fearow. Fearow does not have to fear a foul play since Sableye can never farm down after. There's going to be a switch out, and the decision to no shield the Fearow is instantly rewarded as Fearow gets completely hard-walled by Corviknight. Corviknight is able to shrug off the damage from the Fearow. Corviknight does not want to take any extra damage, so it will immediately fire off the Air Cutter to take the knockout. But this presents a very nice opportunity for the Unova Stunfisk. Stunfisk can look to land a discharge, tank a payback, farm all the way down, and exit with a ton of energy for the Sableye. Corviknight is going to make it to the payback. Payback is going to connect, opponent is going to switch, and out comes Sableye. Sableye immediately getting an energy head start as the Mud Bomb will get shielded, and now out comes Toucannon. Shadow Toucannon is incredibly frail, but has a monster attack stat, so this is where the shields will be used. Toucannon gonna put up the shield and actually look to go for a full farm down against the Sableye. Sableye goes for foul play number 2, they get fully pecked down. Opponent, are they going to bring in the third? No, they bring in Corviknight. Corviknight gets pecked down as well. Toucannon loaded on energy, and in the back is going to be Azumarill. Azumarill, one of the Great League's bulkiest Pokemon, but look at the Drill Peck damage from Shadow Toucannon. Toucannon continues the Drill Peck spam. Drill Peck number 2 is going to connect. Toucannon has the Azumarill deep into the red and makes it to Drill Peck number 3. The guaranteed win condition is an immediate switch into Stunfisk, as the opponent's switch timer is not yet up. They're forced to throw an Ice Beam, and that's going to seal their fate as back in comes the Toucannon. Toucannon has the Drill Peck, not even going to throw it, just getting the full peck down, and that's a good game. Hopping into game number 2, picking up a slightly negative lead, Stunfisk into Altaria. Ideally, Stunfisk would prefer if Altaria threw some energy, and then it could look to switch out of the matchup and send in the Fearow. Altaria will strike first with the Flamethrower. Stunfisk is going to look to get a little bit of chip damage and go for the Discharge. Discharge into Altaria is going to land, and that puts it basically into Drill Peck range. In comes Fearow, and right away we see a very clear strategy with this team, trying to save the shields for the Toucannon. Out comes Shadow Scizor, and things could get scary. Shadow Scizor up energy is an absolute terror. Scizor puts up the shield, gets the farm down, but this is where the stored energy on the Stunfisk could be key, as Mud Bomb will do quite a lot of damage. Scizor no shield, Scizor is able to hang on, but boosted Bullet Punches would shred the Toucannon, so we will see the shield go up. The opponent did end up going for a Night Slash bait, and they will make it to a second Night Slash before they get farmed down. The farm down does occur in the back as Shadow Marowak. Out comes Toucannon, and the opponent does not even build up to the Rock Slide. They're hoping that a Bone Club, even though it's double resisted, will put the Toucannon into farm down range. Honestly, it's a bit of a clever idea from the opponent, but unfortunately for them, they get rocked by a Drill Peck. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. We move to the next game, Stunfisk versus Stunfisk. The mirror is always a little bit tricky. Do you stay in and throw the third Mud Bomb and hope that your opponent does not switch out? Do you throw a Discharge to try and predict a catch? Do you yourself try and go for a catch onto one of the flyers in the back? There is a lot at play here. In the meantime, however, the Stunfisk are going to be trading Mud Bombs back and forth, and here we learn some valuable information. It's Maki's Stunfisk that will win Charge Attack priority. The Mud Bomb is going to land, and now it's highly likely the opponent will go for a catch out. So will Maki go for the Discharge here, anticipating a catch, goes for the Mud Bomb, there's the catch, opponent is going to catch onto Jumpluff. Jumpluff honestly feels like a forgotten relic. The rework to Aerial Ace just completely destroyed this Pokemon. In comes Shadow Toucannon. Toucannon going for the Drill Peck. That's gonna land. Jumpluff gets one shot. And now the opponent, they just lost so much energy. Back in comes the Stunfisk. Stunfisk did have some residual energy. They had a move banked when they caught. Discharge will be shielded. Toucannon potentially smelling blood in the water here, as Toucannon, if the opponent shields back, could look to shield and fully peck down. It seems like whatever they have in the back does not want to see the Toucan. So Toucan will put up the shield. Toucannon gets the full farm down. What do they have back there? It's going to be a Primeape, and this is looking pretty good. Drill Peck will easily one-shot. That's going to force the shield, and out comes Fearow. Fearow should survive an Ice Punch here. Ice Punch is super effective, but Fearow should hang on. That's a close combat. The close combat plus the Karate Chop will pick up the knockout, but now the opponent is at -2. They get shredded by Pecks. In comes Stunfisk. Stunfisk gets that farm down, and it's going to be another win. We move to the next match. Stunfisk so far has been pretty solid on the lead. Not losing a ton of leads, but unfortunately that's going to change leading into Credilli. Now this right here, in one Pokemon, is the reason why this team is not recommended as a team for climbing, because Credilli beats this entire team. Now obviously, Credilli can be played around to a certain extent, but anytime you're putting together a team and you're triple weak to the most used Pokemon in the meta, it's probably going to be a pretty tough time trying to piece together wins. In the meantime, however, speaking of tough times, Fearow once again locked onto a Corviknight. Obviously, Corviknight would be a big problem for Toucannon as well, but man, Fearow's energy can go so far, but Corviknight is incredibly effective at shutting it down. In comes Stunfisk. Stunfisk will look for a full farm down, as the payback landing isn't particularly impactful. The goal will be just try and get as much energy as possible, could maybe even snipe with a peck from Toucannon, but actually not going to go for that snipe. Instead, just going to go for the full farm down and unleash Mud Bombs on the Credilli. Credilli going to be hit with back-to-back Mud Bombs. This is going to be getting the Credilli pretty low. One worry is obviously if you let the Stunfisk get knocked out, then Toucannon could get permanently debuffed. So I do like the decision to pivot out here. Credilli goes for the Rock Tomb. In the back is Dusknoir, and oh my goodness, a debuff Shadow Toucannon is still going to hit for monster damage. Look at Toucannon go. They're going to make it to a Dynamic Punch. That's going to force a shield from the Toucannon. Toucannon is heavily debuffed, but it's still going to pack a serious punch. In comes Credilli. There's going to be the switch into Stunfisk. Stunfisk looking for the Thunder Shock down. Opponent needs a double up they cannot get, and that's going to be a win. Dream lead in the next match. Stunfisk into Charjabug, and the Charjabug is not switching out yet. They're going to bank some energy, and finally, there's the switch. In comes Credilli. Credilli, we know, is a huge problem for this team. Out comes Shadow Toucannon. Toucannon is going to be winning Charge Tech priority over Credilli. Drill Peck will not knock out from this health range, but the opponent will actually put up the shield. Does that potentially give an opening here to the Toucannon? The Toucannon will now be able to get a bunch of extra peck damage. Toucannon is going to go for the CMP tie. Even though this is now a -1 Drill Peck, I still think it might knock out. The opponent thinks so as well, and they will put up the shield. So Toucannon, thanks to that little bit of chip damage at the start from the Stunfisk, suddenly it makes this matchup very uncomfortable for the Credilli. Credilli is going to save energy and make a nice catch onto the Charjabug. Does Toucannon potentially stay in and rebank a move? Oh, throwing one and deferring that Volt Switch onto the Stunfisk is a very nice play. Now Toucannon will be pretty close to a move for later in the match, and this poor Charjabug is stuck throwing X-Scissors in what is a truly miserable matchup. Another X-Scissor is going to land. Stunfisk is at the back-to-back Mud Bombs. Now the opponent, the question will be, is when do they use that Credilli energy? In comes the Credilli, but Credilli will immediately get knocked out by a Mud Bomb, so they had a move. They chose not to throw it, and unfortunately that's going to cost them. In the back is going to be Gastrodon, and this game will be a win as Fearow hits the field. Fearow gets the launch of Drill Peck, big damage into the Gastrodon. Water Pulse does a ton of damage to Fearow, but Fearow will be able to hang on. So Fearow able to survive, no problem. Fearow gonna overfarm quite substantially and play to the CMP tie, but the opponent's gonna make another catch of a Drill Peck onto Charjabug. Back in comes Gastrodon. Gastrodon knows there's just no way out, so it just keeps farming. A third Drill Peck from Fearow knocks out the Gastrodon, and that's a good game. Even though alignment was pretty good on the lead and in the end game, being able to navigate around that Credilli proved to be extremely important, and it's going to be important once again as there is another Credilli on the lead. Credilli proving to be a definite nuisance for this team. Drill Peck will be shielded, and Credilli will strike back with a Rock Tomb. Fearow is not going to play this matchup, instead just fully letting itself get KO'd to set up the Shadow Toucannon. Waiting down the timer, in comes Toucannon. Opponent blind switches into a Jellicent. And this is not a good spot to be as the opponent. Shadow Toucannon is going to have so much damage output in this matchup. And for the opponent, they have absolutely no fast move pressure with Hex being double resisted. Toucannon will put up the shield. Toucannon, if it can secure a knockout with a Drill Peck, that would be absolutely incredible. Drill Peck is going to land. Jellicent gets KO'd. In comes Talonflame. Oh man, it's a Shadow Toucannon 1v3. This is a Rock Blast, picking up the one-hit KO. All that's left in the back is the Credilli. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Great lead in the next match, Stunfisk into Corviknight, and the simultaneous safe switch of Fearow into Furret is an incredibly good play. Recognizing the opponent would never stay in, and if they're leading Corviknight, then they cannot possibly have a Corviknight in the back to punish the Fearow. So, a very aggressive prediction, but it plays out absolutely perfectly. Fearow going to be shielding up the Swift, returning fire with the Drill Peck, as Furret will force a shield. Furret will be able to knock out with the Swift, but Fearow is very insistent on keeping switch advantage. Fearow does get the farm down, but unfortunately, out comes the Corviknight. Shadow Toucannon, we just saw it fully sweep a team, but that was with a shield advantage. In this game, with all the shields going to Fearow, Toucannon will be at a shield deficit, and things could get very, very tricky. Fearow trying its best though, unleashing Drill Peck after Drill Peck, as Corviknight is now below half HP. Air Cutter will land, picking up the knockout. In comes Stunfisk. In the back is a Gastrodon, and this is bad news. Gastrodon will get to the Water Pulse. Can Toucannon even hang on here? Water Pulse is going to land. Toucannon with the 1 HP survive. I did not think it was hanging on there, but it barely does. And now, thanks to the Toucannon getting a bunch of peck damage, Stunfisk may have a chance to take the win. Stunfisk is going to need 2 Mud Bombs for the Gastrodon and a Discharge for the Corviknight, but first it's going to take big damage from Water Pulse. Water Pulse is going to land. The Mud Bomb is reached, and this is going to be a very close game. Mud Bomb is going to land, taking the knockout. No, it doesn't take the knockout. Opponent hangs on and farms down. I thought for a second there was a chance, but unfortunately that game will end in a loss. We move to the next match, picking up a losing lead, Stunfisk into Corsola. The Fearow save switch answered with Blastoise. Blastoise, a very important Pokemon to bait out. Blastoise will put up an early shield and return fire with Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon lands, but Fearow has enough bulk to survive it and make it to a second Drill Peck. This is genuinely very valuable damage, as now it will put the Blastoise into a range where potentially the Stunfisk could actually go for a Thundershock farm down. Stunfisk will take a lot of damage from the Hydro Cannon, but again, the goal of the team is pretty clear. The game where the team lost, it was because Toucannon was down a shield. So now, Toucannon will be up a shield. Let's see what it can do. Toucannon gets the 2-peck head start, only taking 1 rollout in return. But no, it's Bastiodon in the back. Oh no, this is terrible news. Bastiodon farms all the way down. Is there anything worse than seeing Bastiodon? If there is, I haven't seen it. It looks like that ended up being a 4-1 set. Oh, that is absolutely tragic. So I may have had the battles out of order here a little bit, but a 4-1 set to go back over 3,000 elo. Hopping into the next match, surely there won't be a Bastiodon here. Oh, there's actually a blast from the past. It's a Shadow Swampert. Out comes Fearow, answered with a Shadow Talonflame. And I don't think Shadow Talonflame is particularly comfortable being down energy to Fearow. Fearow grabs a shield with the Drill Peck. They're forced to throw on alignment, otherwise Fearow would outpace, and Fearow's more than happy just to let itself get KO'd. The Talonflame has been baited out, as its Incinerate damage neutrally would be a huge issue for the Toucannon, and now hopefully Toucannon can do one of its signature sweeps. Stunfisk can throw 4 and the move because the Incinerate damage will not land unless the opponent decides to shield. The Discharge is going to land, picking up the knockout, and it's time. In comes Toucannon. Swampert will immediately nullify that shield advantage with the Hydro Cannon, but now the Toucannon is up energy. In the back is Togekiss, and Togekiss is about to learn the meaning of pain. Shadow Toucannon going for the Drill Peck. Togekiss puts up the shield, but there's just no way out. Togekiss overfarms too much. They lose Charge Attack priority. They get KO'd, and then all that's left is a Swampert. We know Swampert isn't one-shotting down, and the opponent will resign the match. Hopping into the final match, Stunfisk versus Corsola once again. The safe switch into the Fearow going to be answered with Azumarill. Azumarill, not a good matchup for Fearow whatsoever, but Fearow is the bait, trying to lure out any potential problem Pokemon for the Toucannon and get them as low as possible. So for Fearow, getting to the second Drill Peck is actually very nice. Azumarill will be able to overfarm, take the knockout with the Ice Beam, but this will set up the Stunfisk. Stunfisk will have to take an Ice Beam for its troubles, but it will get the full Thundershock farm down. Azumarill is overfarming massively, and Stunfisk takes full advantage. Stunfisk fires out the discharge, denying that energy. In the back, they have, oh my goodness, it's Shadow Primeape, and Toucannon is primed to sweep. Back in comes the Corsola, but Corsola just has no ability to do any kind of fast move damage. The opponent may have genuinely been better off staying in with the Primeape against the Toucannon just because Karate Chops, you could boost them up with Rage Fist and actually do a little bit of damage. Whereas now Toucannon is just looking absolutely terrifying. Toucannon goes for the Drill Peck. That's going to be shielded up by the Corsola. Corsola is going to be firing off what can only be a Nightshade, and that is not going to be shielded. Back in comes the Primeape. Primeape will now be able to farm down because the Nightshade did land, but there's going to be the switch into the Stunfisk. Stunfisk with the no shield. Primeape is going to go for the Ice Punch. That's big damage, but it will not be enough. Mud Bomb is reached, and this is a Shadow Primeape. If it hangs on, it's not going to be by much. Thundershock takes the knockout. Back in comes the Corsola. That gets farmed down as well, and that's a good game. All in all, these were some extremely fun battles, so many thanks to the battler for sending them in. Now, it goes without saying, Shadow Toucannon, it's a high-risk, high-reward Pokemon. Genuinely, I do think that Shadow Toucannon would probably prefer to run Flash Cannon over Rock Blast. Rock Blast is such an incredibly mediocre move that even in situations where Rock Blast is super effective and Drill Peck is neutral, a Drill Peck from a Toucannon will actually do more damage. That's just the difference in how strong Drill Peck is and how weak Rock Blast is. Whereas, potentially, if you have Flash Cannon, maybe a Carbink isn't familiar with that and could get one shot. But Shadow Toucannon, it's a Pokemon that I unfortunately did not TM away Frustration on, so I do have a Shadow Toucannon, and you probably saw from the intro I'm working on building a Shadow Trumbeak. Both currently have Frustration, and I'm still working on those Toucannon XLs, so I'm hoping that once I'm able to TM Frustration and get the XLs, we can have some Shadow Trumbeak content on the channel, because I'm pretty confident that's a Pokemon that has never been used in any Pokemon Go PvP video ever. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy watching content like this, please do consider leaving a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And an extra special thank you to our channel members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is genuinely so sincerely appreciated, so thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.